What's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up, guys? We got a fancy countdown and intro video now.
We
so
do.
we're moving on up, and hopefully it is working for everybody. I think I'm like watching stuff and going back and forth. So I think
It's working.
I think
well.
we're good. We're just a few seconds behind. Working well. Andrew has been just killing it up here. He was up here late last night, today as well, just trying to switch some things up, trying to make some things a little bit better. So,
Hopefully it looks better.
and it's gonna allow us to be a little more creative over the next few weeks. So
Let us know if it looks better.
let
too.
us know. Hopefully, let us know if it's. Oh no, Noah's already saying there's a high-pitched noise in the background.
I don't know
Is
what.
that for everybody? Is everybody hearing a high-pitched noise, or is that just Noah? I don't know, guys.
There's a ringing.
There's a ring. Oh no! I'm supposed to kill some time. First of all, I just want to let everybody know, let's keep the chat room peaceful, all right? Everybody's really being pretty harsh on Ethan's hair. And I will say, as someone who lives in Grain Valley, Ethan, your hair is amazing, all right? As every guy in Grain Valley is rocking that mullet, and yours is, I'm sure, going well. Thank you, Logan. Logan says it's probably just their air conditioning. I don't know. It sounds like an air mattress. Is it better? Has it gotten better now? I don't know. What's an air mattress sound like, Keegan? We think we fixed it. Is it working? No, it's not better.
No. Sorry.
The mic was just way soft. Ah! This is what happens. We try new things, and it sounds like an air mattress being blown up. That's what it sounds like. Like when you blow up an air mattress, like really loud. And now they said my volume went way down. I can talk louder if that's what we need. That's no problem. This is the first time anybody's ever said Rob is quiet. Ever. Is it better now, or we?
Yeah.
What do we-
I mean, like I put it back to where it was. So. Jay, why are you so harsh?
Ethan and Jay are going back and forth on Ethan's hair, so
Calm down, Jay. You're an adult.
these kids are so neat. I know. It's all right. They still hear the ringing. Keegan says it's all right. It sounds like a compressor.
I don't know
What's
what
it
it
picking
is.
up on?
We're just gonna have to roll with it for today.
I told Andrew that if anything messed up, we should just blame Lee.
No, don't
But
blame
Andrew
Lee.
said don't do that. I mean, I was willing. Is there
Okay.
someone else we can blame?
I don't know.
Judith said it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Lila Smith, did you get your pizza? I sent your, I think she said she got it. Rippy's got 2 of them. Will says he can't work on this condition. Will's going to give us negative Yelp reviews and Google reviews if we don't
Yeah.
improve our situation.
Please, Will, don't leave us another negative
Yeah,
Google
true
review.
story. At one time, we only had 1 star on Google. That 1 star review was given by Will Shapiro.
When he was in like,
Yeah, he was like in 3rd grade at the time, and he left a 1 star. You can blame me, actually. Let's not blame. When Lee and Andrew were working on it, things worked perfect. I got here, they went live, everything's messed up. So
no,
I'll take the blame.
don't take the blame.
No one
Well-
got on here and talk loud. So we're gonna go and jump into it. So if you get that loud ringing noise, just turn your treble down. If you're only coming in on 1 speaker, put it in the center so you're just getting 1 audio coming straight at you. So there you go. We'll
Yeah.
just do what we got to do.
Rob, we've been missing a good friend of ours that I've missed seeing funny videos.
We
from.
have been. It's been a while because we can't show videos here. But hopefully some of these things do work. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time, but we have a little video from our good friend Carl. So check out your screens and check out this video.
Hey guys, it's me, Carl. These are my tips for staying sane while in quarantine. Tune a banjo. Take a nap. It's one of the best ways to kill some time. Boost your confidence by fishing for compliments from a friend.
What about me do you like?
Call your May Mom.
No, my mom. Planet of the Apes is not based on a true story.
Make sure to keep good hygiene. Google image TJ Maxx, just for the fun of it. Read a book.
The rum is always gone.
Tell secrets to your dog. Think of a new idea, like turning on a lamp. Become a peanut butter monster.
I'm a peanut butter monster.
Get to know your houseplants better.
I once ate 3 dozen eggs in one sitting. I haven't been the same since.
Scream. Take a nap. Start collecting cow manure. Wow, what a stack. But then realize you're not supposed to be outside, so quickly run back inside. Self-reflect. Is this really me? How did I end up in this body? What even is a body? And how are we all in these bodies on this giant rock floating through infinite space of nothingness? A dark, vast, cold, eternal nothingness. And then you realize how hungry you are. Cook an egg. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed all these tips for staying sane while in quarantine. It's obviously helping me, so I'm sure it'll help you. Seriously, I've never been better.
So good. So good to have Carl back in our lives, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Hopefully, there might have been a little volume issue. Just let us know in the chat. Was the volume a little soft, like light on your end? There's just a few things. We're gonna fine tune it, but we can get us there. How was the volume on your computer at home? How'd that work? They said it was good.
Good. All right.
All right. No,
Sweet.
no what? You can't. Just a little soft. Oh,
Okay.
All right, maybe it must have just been my computer. We're working on things, but at least we can go back and forth on some video stuff, guys. It's gonna open up a lot of possibilities just with student testimonies and more funny videos and stuff that we can make. So
Puns with Will.
we can do them on video now. So Will, you should have about a month's worth. So let's get this ready. And we're gonna work on the ringing. So don't worry about that. That'll be solved by next time. If it's not solved by next time, someone will get fired. I don't really have the power to do that, so
Yeah.
I can't fire anybody.
I know.
Maybe it'll be me. Don't let it be me. It wasn't really my fault. Hey, anyway, here's what's going on, everybody. We are going to, now your wife's a critic too. You can
Hey,
still go
stop.
outside during the critic.
My wife is perfect. and
She's saying you
beautiful
can go outside during the
and
quarantine.
fantastic. She sends me outside quite
You
a lot.
also don't have to collect cow manure, Stephanie. It's a fictional character.
Don't let him bully you. I'll reprimand him later.
She's bullying us in the chat room.
She's not bullying.
Hey, we're going to play a little game here. We're going to represent some Refuge Coffee today. So the winner is going to get a Refuge Coffee t-shirt so you can match Andrew and Rob and
Yes.
everybody else at the church that has one of these awesome t-shirts. Let's make sure we get it up. So this is a medium. So preferably any one of our younger
if you
medium-sized people could win
if you
this
win,
shirt.
you can put in the chat your size, and we will get you the appropriate
I don't have
size.
time to go find a new t-shirt.
Yeah,
All right,
tell-
you're going to win this one.
Tell Rob.
That one right there. So, hey, here's the game. You're going to have to remind me how we're going to do
That's
this.
all right. We're going to
again.
do this a little differently to hopefully try and make it a little more fair. I know that lots of people have been accused of cheating and unfair lagginess and stuff, and some of that we just can't get around. But this, we're going to try something a little different. So we're going to play a game called Why Does This Exist? What we're going to do is we're going to put up a picture of an item, and we're going to have two options of why that item exists, what it's used for. Nobody can reply until you see our FSM account say go on the chat. That way everybody's had time to kind of get going, and then we'll say go. Whoever's first to get the right answer will get a point. Does that make sense?
That makes
Actually,
sense.
Rob will say go. So when
I
you
will
see-
say go.
when you see Rob say go, that's when you can answer. But don't answer before then, because the chat should be totally up to date and live for everybody, if that makes sense. So everybody good? Got it? Got the rules?
I think so.
All right. So this is the first item right here.
Do I say go?
No, not yet. I'm going to read the two options. So this is called a Halligan bar. It's a forcible entry tool used by police and firefighters to bust into hard-to-access places. Or is it called a plat sower? It's a gardening tool used primarily in arid climates or prepare tough soil for planting small crops. So is it a Halligan bar or a plat sower? You're gonna respond once he types go right now. Did you
Go.
say go?
I typed it.
You gotta use the actual answer.
You gotta write it. Oh, Alexis says Halligan bar.
Who was the first one that said Halligan bar?
Alexis Manzuris.
All right, Alexis Manzuris, you're right. It's called a Halligan bar. Way to go. So
I guess
1-0. Let us know in the comments if you feel like this is fair. Because everybody liked to tell us when it wasn't fair.
Rippy's gonna be the only one that doesn't think it's fair. 'cause
Rippy's
he's
like,
not gonna win.
oh, I'm out now. See ya. All right, here's the next one. What is this item? This blue mysterious item? Is it a common baby toy that was created to teach geometrical concepts to small children and for chewing on while they're teething? Or is it a cable manager that separates and organizes your electronic cables?
Ooh, I'm gonna say cable.
All right, ready? Go.
Go! Let's try that. Carson Huff says cable manager, cable manager, cable manager, baby toy, baby toy.
Well, it is a cable manager, so
Carson Huff. Way
1
to
point.
go, Carson. Way to go. You're on the board.
All right.
I guarantee you Carson has a coffee shirt.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's fine. All right, here we go. Here's the next thing right here. What is this thing right here? Is it known as an automobile blood pressure reader that checks for pressure and spacing in your car's shocks? Or is it an inflatable shim that holds doors and windows in place while you work on projects?
I think I know this one.
Which one is it?
Go. Go. Shim.
Colin Johnson.
Shim.
Colin Johnson, you are correct. It is a shim.
Way to go, Colin
Inflatable
Johnson.
shim.
Way to go.
Okay, here we go. Can you see the images enough? Can you see that clearly enough? Let us know too. How is the image looking? I'm hoping it's looking a lot better, but here we go. Next question.
They said no.
That's Mackenzie though. Mackenzie always says no.
Lila says no.
Okay, you can't see the image well enough? Well,
It's small. Like they
okay, well here, let's
go,
do this.
Go full screen. We're
There
going
you
full
go,
screen.
We're going full screen so you can still
hear us.
What is this image? Is it a option 1? Is it a double-sided fishing magnet used for finding metal objects? Or option 2, is it a small weight that's added to a fishing line to help control your casting? Rob's gonna
Go!
type go.
I'm making
and you're
sure,
Gonna,
I'm making
and you're
sure.
gonna answer.
Colin says weight. Small weight and magnet. Mackenzie says magnet. Colin Johnson says weight.
Well, Mackenzie, you were correct.
Mackenzie!
It's a double-sided fishing magnet used to find metal objects underwater. So when you lose your metal objects.
I'm always losing my metal objects underwater.
All right, next one. Here we go. Option 1, this is called an adze. It's a carving tool that's used to smooth wood for woodworking. Or is it a zade, a demolition aid that's used to shave paint and residue off drywall?
Oh, I know this one because I'm not going to say why. Should I? Am I good?
Yeah. As soon as I read.
Go! Go! Zaid. Ads. Colin says ads.
Well,
Jake
Colin
says.
Johnson has 2
That's
correct
right, Colin
answers.
Johnson. Someone's been to Silver Dollar City because
Oh.
that gets demonstrated every day there.
All right, we're going to keep it rolling since you don't have video of us. Right here, this wooden tool, is it called a garby? A simple tool used to space out objects during woodworking and crafting? Or is it called a darby? It's a simple tool used to flatten concrete. A garby or a darby?
Who made this game?
Go.
Go! Darby. Which one is it? We got two answers.
It's a Darby.
It's a Darby. Avery. Way to go,
Keeping
Avery.
it in the family.
Way to go, Avery.
All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more objects. 4 more objects. Here we go. So Colin, I think you're in the lead.
Up by 2.
You're in the. You're
It's 2
Colin,
to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Colin's in the lead right now. It's 2 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. Wherever. All right, here we go. Let's look at the next one. This.
Oh, you went back to us.
Well, it's going to go back. We're on a little delay here.
Okay.
All right. Is this called a talking toilet paper spindle?
That's so awesome.
Or is that a portable carbon monoxide detector? Is that a talking toilet paper spindle or a carbon monoxide detector?
That would be so cool. Go! A little late on that one, but they did answer after I said go. Portable. Whoa.
Who said portable?
I said go and then I typed it though. So Lila said talking toilet paper. Colin Johnson said carbon
Well,
monoxide.
it is a talking toilet paper spindle.
That is awesome.
So you are correct.
That is so awesome.
So who
Carson
got-
Huff.
Carson got that?
Yeah.
Carson. So Carson has 2, Colin has 2.
Yep. And then a lot of ones.
And a lot of ones. All right, here we go. The next one. Option 1, you wear this small device on the sides of your head, and it uses electrical impulses to help you feel relaxed and calm. Or option 2, these are special hearing aids that can interact wirelessly with any smartphone, even when there's no data or Wi-Fi available.
I want either one of those. That is sweet. And go! Hearing aids, hearing aids, hearing aids, hearing aid, hearing aids, special hearing aids.
Oh, electrical impulses. Kate Blaine, you were correct. Kate Blaine was the first one that said that, right?
Hearing aids, electrical. Yes, Kate
Kate
Blaine.
All right,
on the
Kate Blaine, you
board.
got it.
Kate
All
came
right,
up
so if anybody else can jump into this 2-man game here between Colin and Carson, you'll be in it. Here we go. Next one. This is a handheld tool that can be filled with oil and is used to cut glass with perfect precision. Or, option 2, the point of this fine pressure razor can be applied to wood or metal to mark where a nail or screw should be inserted. Is it a glass cutter or a marker, a razor? Glass cutter or a razor to mark stuff?
Go! What is that? That looks like a oil. I'm saying oil.
Well, let's see who you got to look at the answers.
Oh, sorry. I was too busy checking out the tool there.
The correct answer is a handheld tool filled with oil used to cut glass.
That's McKeous.
Macias Sprink, who needs more refuge coffee
McKeous
shirts.
is like, man, I do not have enough Refuge Coffee
All right,
t-shirts.
last one. So should we just go between Colin and Carson then?
Between Colin and Carson,
Since
right
they
here.
both have 2, this question is just for Colin and Carson, since they're the only ones that have 2 answers. All right, here we go, Colin and Carson. This is called a freight point. It's filled with sand or other granular material to create sharp impressions on a surface, or is it called a plumb bob? Since ancient Egypt, it's been used as a leveler to indicate whether a surface is horizontal.
Ooh, who took
What
shop
is
class?
your
Here we
answer?
go. And go! Jay, you didn't wait. Oh, they both. That was.
Well, but Colin beat her to
I
it.
know, but it was like back to back.
Colin beat her to it. It's called a plumb bob. And Colin got the right answer there. So Colin wins. I know it was back to back, but Colin beat her.
But Jay jumped the gun,
Well,
giving his boy Colin the answer.
that's
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
That's the cross he's going to have to bear.
Jay, learn instructions, buddy. All right. A plumb bob. Plumb bob, everybody.
All right.
All right, so who's it go to?
Colin.
Colin.
Let us
Colin.
know. Let us know in the chat what size of shirt you are, and we'll get you a Refuge Coffee
Refuge
shirt.
coffee shirt. And then we'll let you know when we all wear them, and we can wear them at the same time, and everybody will think that you're cool. Hey, all right. Carson says, I already have that shirt anyway. I don't even need it, so I don't even care. So whatever. That's not what she really said, but thanks, Carson, for
Yeah.
being a good
Yeah.
sport on that. Hey, we don't have any new announcements.
Nope.
Other than it's good to have you guys here. Thanks for being with us and joining us on Wednesday night. We're going to keep it
I mean,
pretty.
our only announcement is to join us on Sunday night, but not this Sunday night because
Yeah.
it's Mother's Day.
This day is Mother's Day, so do something nice for your mom, all right? If you're
Yeah.
still doing social isolation and you can't go get her flowers, just find someone in your neighborhood that has nice flowers and go out there at nighttime and rip them out of their
Don't do
grass
that. Don't
and
do
then
that.
put them in a pot and give them to your mom.
Don't do that. But if you go back and watch our last stream, you'll find out that it was a tradition in, where was that? Like Latvia or something? Where it was like tie your mom up until she gives you presents or treats or something?
Yes, tie your mom up till she
So
gives
go
you
for it.
treats. So anyway, don't tie your mom up. Do give her flowers. Don't rip them out of your neighbor's house, or just draw her something nice and tell her you love her.
Yeah, yeah.
Mother's Day. Anyway, hey, we're gonna keep it pretty short and sweet here tonight. We Wednesday nights we've just been going over some of our devotional stuff that we've encouraged you guys to join us doing the New Testament in 90 days. And so we hope if you haven't done that yet and you'd like to be a part of with us, we're just going through the New Testament, guys, and it's been really cool just seeing students following through, reading. I know we added 3 or 4 more new students to our mid-school one last week and a few more to our high school. So if you are interested in doing that, just make sure you're on YouVersion and send, if you're a mid-schooler, you can send myself or my wife, send us just a friend request. That way I can have your name on there and then I can add you to the group. If you are a high schooler, you can send something to Jay or Kelly Cram, just a friend request, and they will send you an invite to join them on that. So it's not too late. We're just in the book of Acts right now. So we got through the Gospels and we're in the book of Acts. And so what's happened now is we went through the Gospels, we went through Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and some of those, and we saw, did the whole story of Jesus, and after Jesus passed away, the church begins to spread. And this is where we first encountered a guy named Paul, and he hated Christians at first, started throwing them in jail, started arresting them, had an encounter with Christ, and became this missionary. And there's lots of cool stuff that happened in there, and I am going to be just kind of reading through some stuff that stood out to me. And this week we came across Acts chapter 19. And in Acts chapter 19, Paul had spent a long time in a city called Ephesus. Have you ever been?
Never been.
It's beautiful this time of year. I don't know. Ephesus was this community that Paul invested a long time in. He actually spent probably more time in Ephesus than any of the other places that he sees. And this is where we get the book of Ephesians, actually, when he writes his letters back to this church. And there was something that stood out to me in Ephesus, and I want to get to that. But before I get to that, I want to talk to you about what this verse reminded me of, all right? So, and it's very random. This is just how my mind works as I'm reading Scripture.
So buckle up here.
So get ready for this ride through my brain here. I love hypothetical questions, all right? Such as, if zombies attacked, what would you do? I think about these things nonstop.
He would go to Costco.
Yeah, and I think about these Sam's Club. Sam's Club.
Sam's Club,
It's
sorry.
on a hill. It's got a higher vantage point. You can block it off. I can go into a whole thing. But I think of different things all the time. Like if you're stranded on an island, I think of like which friends would I want to join me if I had to like start over in civilization. You made the list because this guy is handy. He can sing, he's smart, he knows how to teach other people instruments. That's gonna be important if you needed to rebuild a society.
I can
And he
make
can
fire.
like build stuff, and he's a Boy Scout. And like, so he made the list. If I need a few survivors, I'm not leaving you behind, all right?
All right.
We have a handful of other friends I would.
That's good to
not
hear.
this guy.
But
So-
what if I left you behind?
don't you dare. So I'm always thinking about these things. And a few years ago, I was actually talking with some youth pastors and some other pastors, and they were talking about this website they came across that asked the question, how many children could you fight? How many children could you fight? And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, no. And again, this was like other pastors showed us this, and they're like, there's this thing where like you just think about it like if a bunch of children, like elementary school kids, attacked you, how many could you fight? And I'm like, I don't know, like I feel like I could fight like a whole school full of kids because they're little. And this was like first and second graders. Completely weird and random question, but he's like, just think of them of like if they turned evil and they were like attacking you, how many could you fight? And I was like, that is a random thing, but I'm gonna have to think about this.
Very
And so,
realistic.
And Andrew was not happy about this quiz at first. He was against it at first, but then I took the quiz and I was like, no way. And I got to 49. I could fight 49 children before eventually they overtook me. Eventually, Andrew came around and he's like, all right, let me take the quiz.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
And I just tricked him into taking the quiz again about 30 minutes ago. I didn't tell him what it was, but he took the quiz again, and Andrew scored 31. So you could beat up 31 children at a time.
Does it take a height into account?
Well, it said, how climbable are you?
Oh.
I put pretty hard, and I put I put pretty easy for Andrew. I feel like, 2 or 3, third graders could just jump on you. To be fair, all
Take
right.
me down.
Yeah.
I do the
Anyway,
lower center of gravity, though.
so here's what was funny. I thought 49, that's a lot. That's a few grades worth. Now, here's how I'm going to tie this in, because I'm reading across this scripture, and I started thinking about one thing, and then it led to this. And here's the point. Eventually, all of those little things are going to, get and start dragging you down. If you've ever just wrestled with little kids, they'll start pulling at your legs, and they start pulling at here, and then they get hold of your ears, and you're like, and they just start wrestling you. And so eventually, they're going to be able to drag you down. This question and this idea got me thinking about the verse that I was kind of looking at today in Acts chapter 19. Paul is getting ready to leave. He's getting ready to leave Ephesus, this place he loved, and this group of people that he spent a long time, and a church was started there. And he sees this group of people, and he's like, man, you have so much potential. But he's worried about them because he's getting ready to move on to somewhere else. And in Acts chapter 19, verse 29, as he's getting ready to leave there, he says this. He says, I know that after I leave, savage wolves will come in among you, and you will not spare the flock. Even from your own number, men will arise and distort the truth in order to draw away disciples after them. So be on your guard. Remember that for 3 years I never stopped warning each of you night and day with tears. And Paul's reminding them, just saying, hey, I care about you guys so much. I care about you, and there's going to be stuff that's going to rise up. And it may be, he's talking about false teachers here. And he's like, there's going to be people that come in, and they're going to teach stuff kind of about Jesus, but they're going to distort it. And they're going to try to pull you away from Christianity. But what got me thinking was when he says, he used this word wolves. And in a few other New Testament books, Paul used the words like lion, and he's used wolves before again. And he uses wolves for a reason. If you've ever read about anything how wolves attack, they don't just come running straight up at you. They don't just I'm a wolf, and get on, they circle and they get did that scare you? I'm a wolf. I don't know what I just did there. I think I did the Thriller dance. So they do these wolves circle around, and they get low, and you don't see them coming. And what happens is I actually just was like, how do wolves attack? And so I was reading about this morning on a wolf they'll jump at the head or the haunches, the backside of an animal. They don't just hit it right from the front or just try to, attack straight on. What they'll do is one will jump on, and if the animal keeps running, another one will jump on that backside, and then another one. And they take that animal down just by dragging it down eventually. And that's how something as small as a wolf they can take down buffalo and these much larger animals. Because maybe one wolf doesn't drag that thing, hit it, or beat it, or kill it. But eventually it's going to slow the animal down and drag it away from the pack to where the other wolves can all attack. And that's how they do that. That's how you see 3 or 4 wolves are able to take away a buffalo or something out of a huge herd of buffalo. They take one down and they drag it down till it no longer can carry it. And what Paul's doing here is he's warning them. And he's saying, hey, watch out for these things that can hit you and drag you down. They're going to come up, and he's warning them about false teachers who can slowly start changing truth around. And it kind of sounds okay at first, but it's wrong, and it'll start pulling you away from maybe what truth is. And whether it's a false teacher or other little things that kind of start coming up in your life, you can have these things that sneak up on you, little things that you allow into your life that you don't think much of at first, but it just starts kind of dragging you down. And eventually, when enough of that stuff starts pulling up on you, it's going to start hurting. And I thought of a buddy of mine, and I'm going to kind of wrap up here. He's a grown man now, and I share his story a little bit, and I won't use his name, but this was years and years ago. Like I said, he's a grown man now, but he was a middle schooler once when I was a pretty young student pastor. Good kid, solid kid, always involved in student ministry, and just friends with everybody. It didn't matter if you were like the nerdiest, dorky, weird kid in the classroom, or if you were like, the cool kid in the group. Like, he was just friends with all of these people. Everybody loved this kid. And but he had this thing, and he would say, like, his wolf was always feeling the need to fit in. Or not even fit in, but just to be liked by everybody. And that need to be liked by everybody was this thing that would kind of hit him every now and then and drag him away, because on one end it could be good, but on the other end it also meant like, well, if people are cussing or lying or doing stupid stuff, I start doing that because I want them to like me. And if being at church, if everybody was doing church stuff, I did that because I wanted my church friends and I wanted my pastor to like me, and me at the time, and he's told me this, as he got older. So he'd had these different lives, and he said eventually, though, that side where he's trying to fit in with different people at school started pulling him away from his church group. And there were some times he got in trouble. He got in trouble doing some pretty bad stuff in middle school, just getting caught. And he would always come back and say, man, it was just that need. And he would find his way back to God and then get pulled back away. And he said, I was always just getting pulled away, and I thought I was a strong Christian, but I would always get hit by this stuff and just felt so weak. And he looks back now and he just thinks, man, if I would have recognized that as a student, I always wonder like what my influence could have been if I could have helped those kids, like, and invited them to church. Like, I probably could have got them. I could have, been more of an influence if I wasn't always so afraid of not fitting in. And that was his wolf, his thing that constantly got on him. And he could handle it at first. He could handle kind of doing that and being at church, but eventually it always dragged him down to where he even got to the point where he's like, I don't know, I've been dragged away so many times, I don't know, like, does God still love me? And he struggled with that through high school. And he's an awesome guy, young right now, good young man, loves the Lord, but he just always looks back and says, I wish I would have recognized that. I wish I would have known. And so what I want you guys just to think about, is like, what is that, those wolves that are in your life? What are those things that you think you can handle, but you know that after a while it starts to pull you down and it starts to drag you away? And that junk can add up in your life, whether it's just, doubting yourself all the time, or, maybe it's stuff that you get away with right now because no one else knows about it, but you also feel it pulling it away from your relationship with Christ. Whatever those things are, it's good to start recognizing, what is my wolf? Paul points it out to them. He says, hey, there will be false teachers. They're going to lead you away. But for you, it might be something different. So what is that thing in your life that you think, oh, it's no big deal, I can handle that on my own? But after it starts piling up on you, it starts dragging you down, and you've seen that repetition in your life getting dragged away. And so, one of the things when you look at how wolves hunt, and I was reading this thing when they hunt buffalo, they will nip at buffalo sometimes, but if they can't find a weakness in the herd, if they don't see the weak one, they realize it's too strong for us, and they'll pull back and they'll go find something else. And so I just think it's cool where Paul's like, hey, stand strong. If you are strong, you're not going to get pulled away. If you're strong and if you're, living this life with other people, if you are looking out for it, you're going to be better off. These things aren't going to have that ability to pull you down. And so my prayer over the past few days, when I'm praying to God, and I just encourage you, maybe this is your same prayer. I've been praying, literally I pray, hey God, what is my wolf? What are the wolves in my life that often I think I can handle this, but I can't? One of my big things is always thinking I can do life on my own. Like, I got this. Maybe it's pride or not wanting to rely too much on other people, or, maybe it's something else. Like, it's these things that you can let in your life that you don't think about, but it'll hurt you. It'll pull you away. And so maybe for you, you look over the past couple months during quarantine and there's been some bad habits or bad junk that you've kind of like, I can handle it, but you're just like, why am I doing this? And you can feel it pulling at your relationship with God, or maybe you've been doing really great. I've talked to a few kids that are like, I don't deal with anxiety anymore. Like, I've never felt better because I don't have that stress of my friends and fitting in and that need. And so maybe you know what's going to come eventually back. And so start praying, God, what are the wolves in my life that I don't see happening? Because I can't carry those. I don't want those little things to hit me and attack. So just a cool thought. And like I said, that was when I'm reading through Acts, I started thinking of wolves, and then I started thinking of how many kids I could fight. And then I started thinking, how can I trick Andrew into taking that quiz again? So that's just how my mind works. But make that your prayer, guys. Look at it. It's a pretty cool little verse and warning that I think applies to all of us still. And so many cool things in that devotional. So if you're not doing it, guys, get on that, on your YouVersion app. Send us a request. I'll send something to you and ask if you want to join the group. So keep it up. Keep reading. Keep seeking after Christ. All right? So that is everything. I want you guys to have a great day, great evening. Yeah. And we will see you next Wednesday, all right?
Yeah, good to see you guys again.
Bye. Bye. 7th grade, 8th grade, I think you guys are trying to do a quick Zoom meeting since you weren't able to meet Sunday. So make sure you hop on that.
See ya.